Hi guys, welcome to Sported. I'm Shane, and the huge news today is that Brendan Rodgers has resigned as manager of Celtic after a big fight with the board. It's all kicked off and Brendan has gone. We know that he's been unhappy for a while with the transfer situation, a poor transfer summer window in his eyes, didn't go down well. He's blamed the board have blamed him. It's got really messy and he has walked, surprisingly. Now Martin O'Neill is making his way to Celtic as interim manager. So interesting stuff. What exactly has gone on? Here's some of the articles and what's been said in the lead up to his resignation. So it's got really sour between him and major shareholder Dermot Desmond, and he's accused of Rodgers of contributing to a toxic atmosphere at the club by misleading fans over Celtic's transfer business and his talks over a new contract. Martin O'Neill was named as Celtic's interim boss Monday evening. And in a subsequent interview with TalkSport, O'Neill has said he's only viewing this as a short-term job. If he does well, I'm sure he'll be asked to stay. He's a legend. It went well. It's been a while for Martin, but he's a great manager, bags of experience, did great there last time. So you know what it's like. If anybody goes in and does a good job, the fans love him. It's a popular appointment. And if he does well, no doubt he'll be asked to stay on. So let's dive a bit more into what's happened. So this is via Sky Sports website. Desmond claimed in a statement that Rodgers' actions have contributed to a toxic atmosphere at Celtic and fueled hostility towards members of the executive team and board. He said, regrettably, his words and actions have been divisive, misleading, and self-serving. Strong. That is strong. Some of the abuse directed at the board and the executive team and at their families has been entirely unwarranted and unacceptable. Every member of the board and executive team is deeply passionate about Celtic and acts at all times with professionalism, integrity, and a shared desire for success. 3 weeks before Desmond's criticism of Rodgers and his resignation, Celtic said in a statement, the club do not accept that there is a disconnect between the board and the manager. Classic. So, who is to blame for the struggles? Now, it gets more interesting because Rodgers came out with an absolute classic calling the players Honda Civics. Let me find it. He said, what has failed recently was not due to our structure or model, but to one individual's desire for self-preservation at the expense of others. That was Desmond, Celtic structure, where the managers oversee football, the chief executive manager operations, and the board provides oversight, has served the club with great success for more than 2 decades. Yeah. It seems like Rodgers has wanted a certain type of player in the summer. Celtic haven't been able to get it. Rodgers is frustrated. Feels like he's taken them as far as he can take them. Celtic have obviously got a payment structure, a budget that they will not budge on. And it's left them in a standoff. Where, now this season hasn't gone well. Now, had this season gone well and Celtic were top and Hearts, who are now top where they are, there wouldn't be so much of a problem. But now there's unrest. Now it's finger pointing. Now it's Rodgers saying, I wanted better players. And it's Dermot Desmond saying, it's the manager. It's him. It's all finger pointing. So it's always going to get messy and it's always going to be the manager that goes. A lot of the fans are saying it's the board's fault and it's got toxic frustration from Rodgers, and then some are saying that it's classic Rodgers. It is self-preserving, and he's walked away because it didn't suit him. And Hearts are top of the league at the minute. I believe by 8 points. But he called them all Honda Civics. I had a Honda Civic. I love a Honda Civic. But you can't be saying that without retaliation, can you? And without consequence. and it looks exactly what's happened. And Brendan knows what he's doing. He's not a silly man, is he? Once you say those kind of things, and you don't back down, and he knows his stock is fairly high in the game. He's gone back to Celtic for a second time, done well. All the Rangers have fallen away. This year hasn't gone as well. They've lost a lot of the players in the transfer market. Their targets that they didn't envisage losing, and he's stuck with a team that he doesn't really rate, and a squad that's in his eyes not strong enough, which has been reflected in his performances in Europe. Yeah, so we'll go on. It says, I think everybody suspected that things weren't right, but let's also get it right. The ball, but not blameless. Celtic were in a really strong position when you go back to the early part of this year. They played Bayern Munich, nearly knocked them out of the Champions League, and the club was on a bit of a high. I think everybody expected the club, albeit losing quality players, to go quite strong in the summer in terms of player recruitment. That didn't happen. The manager was unhappy, and at the start of the season, things have been woeful. So there you go, and that comes from Chris Sutton, ex-player. So between the lines, that's simply what's happened, isn't it? Rodgers wanted players, they've not delivered them, they're doing rubbish this season, and it's all kicked off and the manager's walked. What a mess. What a mess. Blame game going on, all very childish, but let's see. Martin's going to go there, steady the ship, and then I've heard the news, of course, Ange Postecoglou, of course, he just won't go away. Of course, there's talk of him going back for a second stint. It went well for him the first time, and that's probably, not being unfair, that's probably his level, isn't it? He's been found out. He's been found out now a couple of times, but let's see. They might go back for Ange. They might keep Martin O'Neill. He'd be my choice. Great manager, a man of integrity, interesting guy. Love listening to him on TalkSport. But we'll see. It's all got very, very messy. But there you go. What do you think? Who do you blame? Do you blame the board? Do you blame Rodgers? Who's the next manager? And who's going to win the title this season? Are Celtic a sinking ship? Is it Hearts' year? It would be lovely for Scottish football to have another winner. Hearts, come on Hearts, just to kind of break up that monopoly that's going on up there. It's boring, isn't it? We want someone else to win. So please, come on Hearts, I'm right behind you. Don't choke. We need this for Scottish football, so more people will start watching it. So there you go. They're my thoughts. Hope you liked the video. More to come. Take care. Speak soon.